Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a fascinating and honestly pretty painful autopsy of a DeFi founder's public relations disaster. You know, if you've ever wondered why some brands just seem to be everywhere all at once, while others spend an absolute fortune only to hear crickets, well, you're in the right place. We're going to look really closely at what exactly happens when a big budget meets a genuinely bad strategy. So here's where our story kicks off. Picture this. A DeFi founder has built a really strong product, right? They've got a compelling vision, they're gearing up for massive growth, so they raise their marketing budget and drop exactly $30,000 on a brand new PR campaign. The goals were straightforward enough. Grab investor attention, grow the community, get some solid ecosystem visibility, and build undeniable industry credibility. They figured, like so many founders do, that paying for more publications would literally just equal more growth. Well, almost nothing happened. No surge in investor interest, no meaningful community growth, no sustained momentum whatsoever. Just flat. But honestly, the absolute wildest, most baffling part of this whole story, according to the PR agency they hired, the campaign technically worked. Which brings us to our first section, the $30,000 PR mystery. Or, as we like to call it, visibility without impact. Let's dig in. Okay. So how on earth can a campaign technically work on paper, but completely fail in real life? The core thesis we're looking at today is that PR distribution, without an actual strategy behind it, completely fails to build any real trust. See, the agency totally promised the moon here. They delivered hundreds of media placements, massive exposure estimates, and this incredible stack of media logos for the founder to slap on their website. The campaign reports looked amazing. But the reality? Website traffic barely even twitched. Community growth was totally stalled out. Investor conversations were basically non-existent. The agency successfully delivered the placements, sure, but without a larger strategic framework, those placements generated exactly zero actual impact. So what actually went wrong? Let's break down the 3 fatal campaign mistakes. Mistake number 1, no narrative. The very first fatal error was just substituting basic announcements for actual storytelling. The entire campaign was hyper-focused on pushing out corporate news. Things like, hey, we launched this minor feature, or we partnered with this company. But an announcement is not a narrative. Think about human psychology for a second. We are fundamentally wired to remember compelling stories, right? We don't remember isolated bursts of corporate updates. If you just push a basic, dry announcement out into the world, people are going to scroll right past it and forget it 10 seconds later. A true narrative is a larger, overarching story that your audience can actually latch onto. It tells them why your product matters to the broader ecosystem. Without it, you're literally just making noise in a room that is already incredibly crowded. Moving on to mistake number 2, no repetition. The founder basically treated PR like a one-off event. They ran one massive visibility burst, one single expensive campaign, and then complete silence. They basically blasted a giant megaphone exactly one time and just expected the echoes to ring out forever. But as this quote nails perfectly, authority compounds through consistency. This is absolutely crucial to understand. In any industry, authority requires continuous repetition. You can't just buy a stellar reputation on a random Tuesday afternoon. It builds layer upon layer, month after month. The audience has to see your brand repeatedly validating its core narrative over time. A one-and-done approach is pretty much a guaranteed way to just set your budget on fire. And the final nail in the coffin? Mistake number 3, measuring the wrong KPIs, or key performance indicators. By looking at totally the wrong numbers, the founder was essentially blindfolded to what was actually happening with their target audience. Just look at this breakdown. When you build a campaign around the wrong metrics, you completely derail your own strategy. PR agencies absolutely love pushing these vanity metrics on the left. Placements, publications, massive reach estimates. And yeah, they look incredible on a slide deck. Wow, we reached 10 million people. But the meaningful metrics on the right, search visibility, true brand recognition, community trust, those are what actually drive business growth. Reach estimates don't pay the bills or secure venture funding. Trust does. If you only measure vanity, you can easily blow 30 grand to get absolute zeros in actual meaning. Okay, so how do we avoid this trap? Let's talk about the reputation compounding engine. If you want to prevent this enormously expensive mistake from happening to your brand, you need the blueprint of how high-performing Web3 projects actually approach PR. It's not about buying megaphones, it's about building a machine. And that machine has 6 core pillars: narrative positioning, consistent visibility, search presence, ecosystem integration, founder authority, and credibility building. Successful brands aren't just blasting out press releases. They optimize their search presence so they actually show up when people look for them. Their ultimate goal isn't just running a flashy campaign, it's becoming a permanently recognizable fixture in their industry.
Because they deeply understand this fundamental rule. Trust compounds, just like visibility. Think of it like compound interest in a bank account. When you integrate deeply into your ecosystem and establish real founder authority, credibility grows exponentially. Every insightful op-ed, every smart partnership, every narrative-driven update builds right on top of the last one. You're not just renting temporary attention, you are investing in permanent trust.
I want to leave you with this final, genuinely profound thought from our source material. The founder didn't lose $30,000 because PR doesn't work. They lost it because visibility without a strategic engine is just a dead end. Media placements don't automatically create growth. Strategy does. So as you look at your own brand and your own budget, ask yourself, are you building a compounding engine of trust, or are you just renting a very expensive megaphone? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.
Subscribe and visit Web3 Newswire for visibility and credibility of your Web3 projects.